For decades, countries hosting the World Cup have spent billions constructing massive, state-of-the-art stadiums from scratch. But when the crowds leave, host nations are often left paying off debt for empty concrete giants that quickly surrender to weeds and rust. The 2026 tournament magnifies that risk. With 48 teams playing 104 matches, it is the largest undertaking in the history of the sport, spread simultaneously across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Moving international squads, their equipment, and millions of fans across multiple international borders over 39 days introduces a massive tangle of customs processing, flight logistics, and coordinated multinational security. To absorb that impact, the 2026 Organizing Committee made a specific infrastructural choice: zero new stadium construction. The plan relies entirely on heavily modifying North America's existing arenas. Upgrading older structures and retrofitting American football stadiums is the only financially realistic way to handle the ballooning size of global mega events without bankrupting the host cities. The entire experiment kicks off on June 11th in Mexico City at Estadio Azteca. With this opening match, Azteca becomes the first venue on Earth to host matches across 3 different World Cup tournaments. The weight of football history is heavy here. This is the exact pitch where Pelé lifted the trophy for Brazil in 1970, and where Diego Maradona scored his infamous Hand of God goal in 1986. To bring the aging building up to 2026 standards, the architectural firm Populous was brought in to overhaul the internal player facilities and install modern, code-compliant emergency safety systems. But Populous had to work within strict boundaries. They could not alter the steep, intimidating concrete terraces that pack in 83,000 spectators, nor could they mitigate the exhausting effects of playing at the city's 7,000-foot altitude. By treating the stadium's core architecture as untouchable, organizers anchor a sprawling, modern, cross-continental tournament to a physical space with deep, undeniable heritage. Further north in Canada, the challenges shift from preservation to spatial engineering. BMO Field in Toronto, branded locally as Toronto Stadium, faced a strict math problem. Its standard layout falls thousands of seats short of the 45,000 required to host a FIFA group stage match. This schematic shows exactly how they bridge that gap. By engineering 17,756 temporary seats and grafting them onto the perimeter of the existing footprint, the venue pushes past the FIFA minimum threshold. Pushing an extra 17,000 people into that footprint requires restricting how they arrive. Toronto is enforcing a complete ban on public parking at the stadium, forcing all matchday attendees to navigate the city using an upgraded mass transit rail and bus network. Even with the expanded seating, up to 20,000 ticketless fans will spill over daily. To absorb them, the city is repurposing secondary historic spaces, like Fort York, to serve as massive, heavily monitored fan festivals. Hosting a match now forces a metropolitan center to temporarily rewrite its traffic patterns and repurpose its public squares. The logistical peak of the tournament lands on July 19th at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. MetLife secured the rights to host the final over a competing bid from Dallas because local officials agreed to make permanent, destructive changes to the building. This overlay illustrates the physical conflict. An NFL gridiron is 63 meters wide. A FIFA pitch demands 68. The geometry simply doesn't fit. To solve this bottleneck, MetLife is permanently ripping out 1,740 lower-level corner seats, widening the floor just enough for the regulation grass. To feed fans into this space, NJ Transit absorbs $48 million to run dedicated busways and trains. To offset the lack of FIFA subsidies, the state plans to charge attendees up to $105 for a single shuttle train ticket. The high costs come with a distinctly American addition. FIFA is partnering with Global Citizen to produce a 15-minute Super Bowl-style halftime show right in the middle of the final. Slicing the corners off an NFL venue to fit a soccer pitch, while pauses in play are filled by a massively produced pop concert, fuses international sporting regulations with the logic of American entertainment infrastructure. By stripping out stadium corners in New Jersey and bolting temporary bleachers to concrete in Toronto, organizers guarantee that when the final whistle blows, there are no empty billion-dollar ruins left behind to drain local economies. Spreading 104 matches across 16 different cities effectively dilutes the massive financial and security risks that have traditionally crippled single host nations. By integrating mandatory transit shifts, subsidized shuttle networks, and global entertainment, organizers are treating the tournament as a piece of massive-scale urban management. With the tournament schedule now reaching 104 matches, this multinational network offers a practical hedge against the logistical and financial weight of the global game.